Tired of letting the fear of failure hold you back from living your best life? What if I told you that an ancient philosophy, Stoicism, has the power to completely transform how you face challenges and setbacks? Imagine turning every failure into a stepping stone on your path to success. Sounds powerful, right? Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with anyone who needs a boost, and subscribe for more life-changing insights. I get it. I used to be exactly where you are now, paralyzed by the fear of failure. I let that fear stop me from pursuing my passions, my dreams, even simple everyday opportunities. But then I stumbled upon Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that rewired my mindset. It taught me how to face fear head-on and use setbacks as powerful lessons rather than obstacles. And today I want to share those same strategies with you. In this video, you're going to unlock the core principles of Stoicism that will help you crush that fear of failure. You'll gain practical mental tools and strategies that you can apply right away to embrace challenges, build resilience, and unlock your full potential. Ready to change your life? Let's get started. Before we explore how Stoicism can help, let's take a moment to understand exactly what the fear of failure is and why it's so paralyzing. Fear of failure is more than just feeling nervous about a challenge. It's a powerful, often crippling emotion that can stop you dead in your tracks, whether in your personal goals or professional ambitions. Imagine having a brilliant idea for a business, but never launching it because you're terrified it might flop, or wanting to ask for a promotion but holding back, convinced you'll be rejected. Maybe you dream of writing that book or creating art, but the fear of not being good enough keeps you from even starting. This fear stems from deep roots, societal pressures to succeed, past experiences where things didn't go as planned, and the self-doubt that creeps in quietly but persistently. Society often teaches us to avoid failure at all costs, equating it with weakness or incompetence. But that's a trap. And here's the truth. Fear of failure is universal. It affects everyone from entrepreneurs to artists to students. The difference lies in how we deal with it. In real life, this fear can look like hesitating to take that first step toward a new career, second-guessing yourself before speaking up in a meeting, or avoiding risks altogether, missing out on opportunities that could change everything. Understanding this fear is the first step to conquering it. And that's exactly where Stoicism comes in. It teaches us how to reframe failure, not as a dead end, but as a vital part of growth and progress. Let's dive deeper into how this fear plays out in real life, because it's more common and more damaging than you might realize. Think about Sarah, an aspiring entrepreneur who has an amazing business idea. She spends months perfecting her plan, but when it comes time to launch, she freezes. The fear that her idea might flop, that investors might reject her, or that customers won't like her product overwhelms her. So she delays, procrastinates, and eventually abandons her dream, all because the fear of failure kept her stuck. Or take James, who's been working hard at his job for years. He knows he deserves a promotion, but every time he considers asking his boss, self-doubt creeps in. What if they say no? What if they think he's not ready? So he stays silent, missing out on the chance to grow his career. Then there's Mia, a creative soul who wants to write a novel. She's terrified that her writing won't be good enough, that critics will tear it apart, or that no one will even read it. So her manuscript stays buried in a drawer, gathering dust. These stories are just a few examples, but the fear of failure can affect any area of life: relationships, education, health goals, and more. It's a silent barrier that prevents people from taking risks, trying new things, and ultimately living fully. But why does this fear have such a strong hold? It often comes from three key sources: societal pressure. We're taught from a young age that failure is shameful or embarrassing. Success is celebrated, but failure is stigmatized. Past experiences. Negative experiences in the past, like a failed project, rejection, or criticism, leave scars that shape how we view new challenges. Self-doubt. Our inner critic magnifies the risks and downplays our abilities, making failure seem like an inevitable outcome. Understanding where this fear comes from is crucial because it helps us recognize that it's not a personal flaw. It's a common human response, and one that can be managed. Stoicism teaches us that the only thing truly in our control is our own thoughts, choices, and actions. Everything else, the outcome, other people's opinions, external events, is beyond our control. This simple but profound idea shifts the entire perspective on failure. Let's break down some key Stoic principles that directly tackle the fear of failure. 1. Focus on what you can control. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation. You can control how much effort you put into practicing, your preparation, and your attitude going in. But you can't control whether the audience loves it or hates it. Stoicism urges you to invest your energy only in what you can influence and to accept the rest with calm. 2. Reframe failure as feedback. Stoics don't see failure as defeat, but as valuable feedback. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, wrote about how obstacles aren't obstacles at all. They're opportunities to practice virtue, patience, and resilience. When you fail, you learn what doesn't work, which is a critical step toward what does. 3. Practice negative visualization. This might sound counterintuitive, but Stoics practice imagining the worst-case scenarios, not to scare themselves, but to prepare mentally. By facing the possibility of failure in advance, you reduce its power over you. You come to realize that even if things go wrong, you have the strength to handle it. 4. Detach self-worth from outcomes. One of the biggest sources of fear is tying your identity to success or failure. Stoicism teaches you to see yourself as valuable regardless of external achievements. Your worth comes from your character and effort, not from results beyond your control. Real-life Stoic example. Take Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's mindset was deeply Stoic. He didn't let repeated failures stop him. He embraced them as essential to his eventual success. By applying these Stoic principles, you build resilience, not because you avoid failure, but because you learn how to handle it gracefully, with courage and wisdom. So what exactly is Stoicism, and why has it stood the test of time for over 2,000 years? At its heart, Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy built on three core pillars: virtue, reason, and acceptance. It's a guide for living a resilient, meaningful life in the face of uncertainty, hardship, and yes, failure. Let's unpack those pillars. Virtue. For the Stoics, virtue means living with moral excellence, courage, wisdom, justice, and self-discipline. It's about being the best version of yourself, regardless of external success or failure. Reason. Stoicism encourages us to use rational thinking to navigate life. Instead of being ruled by emotions like fear or anger, reason helps us respond thoughtfully and deliberately. Let's explore some of the most powerful Stoic tools designed specifically to help you face fear, especially the fear of failure, and come out stronger. Negative visualization. One of the cornerstone practices in Stoicism is called negative visualization. The purpose isn't to scare you, it's to prepare you mentally. By consciously picturing potential setbacks, you take the sting out of the unknown. Embracing uncertainty and growth of Stoicism teaches us that uncertainty is not something to fear, but to embrace. Life is unpredictable, and failure is a natural part of learning and growth. Instead of resisting it, Stoics encourage us to lean into discomfort and see failure as valuable feedback.